Manja cake girl, manja cake girl. Oh, my sweet manja cake girl, manja cake girl. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Strength Classroom. So I mentioned this in the previous vlog that I got this form from Dmitry Klokov. It allows you to use your back a lot more. The only downside is that I'm going to die saying it, is that you have to use less weight. But that could be a good thing because I'm just upping the reps. The hardest part is to stay in rhythm. So I jump back and forth between that and broad jumps. And I have to say, my hip muscle that leads into the lower abdominals is not bothering me at all when it comes to this, because this is the exercise that I re-aggravated it on. And I'm kind of testing myself with the distance and how much force I'm trying to put into these jumps. And it doesn't feel like it's bothering me at all, which makes me happy that I'm finally moving in the right direction, getting back to what I was doing before. Now, here's another set of high pulls. You can see from this angle. This is pure Dmitry Klokov method. This is great for traps. It's even great for delts, but more so traps and upper back. And the key is to really throw yourself backwards. I mentioned this in my high pull video, and it's even easier to do with that form to put yourself backwards. So if you're always leaned forward and shrugging up and pulling with your arms when it comes to high pulls, try doing it like that, using less knee bend and more hips and back, and it definitely will cure that problem. So here's my last warm-up set when it comes to sumos. Turning out the feet did help a lot. And I feel like you have to be way more, not me, but everyone, you have to be more patient when it comes to sumos. Breaking it off the floor can be a big challenge, and I find it's more technical, so you can't muscle it up as much as opposed to a conventional deadlift, which can be good and bad depending on your viewpoint of it. But here I was going to do clusters, but on the first set, after the first rep, I was like, screw that, let's just go till like form failure when it's getting hard, and let's just see how many I can do after learning this form. So there's one, 455 on the bar, there's two, still feeling good, I'm trying to be as efficient as possible, there's three, there's four. You can see the hip level is barely changing. And then I'm going to talk about that on the next set. So yeah, to be a little bit more patient there. Hips rose a bit, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's going in the right direction. Now here, I was not pointing my toes out as much, and you might notice the issue. So for all you people that are trying to learn sumo or can't get sumo right, turn your goddamn feet out. It will open up your hips and help you a lot more. Even there, I can just tell. See, my hips didn't rise as much because I'm not as fatigued. Right there, they rose unnecessarily because I'm not trying to... Me not having my toes pointed out as much is not allowing me to wedge my hips forward and get my upper back up. I watched a shit ton of videos on how to improve your sumo form, and that was one of the main things. Now, the form is not horrible, but it can be a lot better. That's the thing I'm trying to stress, especially right there. And I was just fatigued at this point. So I did a set of 5, and then I did a cluster set of 2 and 2. So I did 9 total reps. And here I just wanted to get a tiny bit more volume in. So I'm like, let me do a set of 5 with 405. And this is actually pretty crisp, to the point where I'm changing my max effort exercise. I've done sumos for 3 weeks, whether it's been clusters or rep maxes or a 1 rep max. And I'm going to shift it over to dynamic day. And I don't know if I'm going to use chains or bands or anything, but I'm not going to be doing them for speed. I'm going to be doing them for higher weight, maybe strength speed, as opposed to speed strength, and work them through that way. Because I find when it comes to sumos for lower body strength, it's low-hanging fruit for me. I feel like I can make a lot of gains without having to, just strain really hard. Let's put it that way. That was poorly worded, but it's low-hanging fruit. I feel like there's a lot of gains to be made there. Then main assistance exercise, fairly light, but I wanted to go deep, and these are being done rounded like this on purpose. So these would be considered rounded back good mornings. Not my lower back, which it's not perfectly straight, but perfectly straight backs are overrated. But I'm purposely rounding my chest and my upper back at the same time, and then I'm reversing that as I'm coming back up. It's a great exercise to bang out the whole posterior chain. If you have access to a safety squat bar, and that's a weakness of yours, I suggest you try it. Then I'm doing Cossack squats, and in this portion of the workout, like this slot, third exercise, going forward, I'm going to rotate between this, side lunges, and Bulgarian split squats. I find those things train similar. They're all single leg-ish movements, and they train different aspects of putting stress on one leg. Here it's your quad, your glute, your adductors, it's stretching out a little bit, and side lunges and Bulgarian split squats I'll explain once I have videos on them. But this is also good for core when you have them front rack like that and your upper back. So it's a pretty big bang for your buck exercise. Speaking of core, I'm going to start doing some anti-side movements. Just because I saw someone do them on Instagram, I'm like, damn, I should probably be loading those heavier. So here's an 80-pound kettlebell. That was considered my first like warm-ish upset. And then I grabbed my heaviest kettlebell. That's within reason, not that giant monster you see there, but eventually I will be doing that with this exercise. I like how the weight is kind of all in one spot. You don't have to worry about balance, as opposed to when you do regular suitcase carries, you have to kind of adjust where the weight is in your hand. And I find I get a way better stretch on my traps when I do them like this, as opposed to a barbell. Then this exercise is money for calves and knee health. So it's almost like a sissy squat in a way, or a hack squat, depending on how you look at it. And you'll notice the weight moves in an arc, and I am staying on my toes on purpose. I'm really loading up the knee joint. I just call them landmine hack squats. You could call them whatever the hell you want. And I find this is a great exercise to really pump up the quads. It's like an exaggerated quad focused squat. I like it a lot. Some people might not, but I actually really enjoyed this exercise. It's good for assistance. Am I going to load up 5 to 10 plates on it? No. But as an assistance exercise, it is great. And then I decided to do some high rep calves, 3 sets of 25. I'm definitely going to vary the rep range when it comes to calves, just because I feel like I haven't worked them in such a long time that I feel like I need to work all rep ranges. So if that's anywhere from 10 to 30 reps. And this was done with fairly low rest, and I remember it was not fun after the third set. So, if you like this workout, leave a like in the comments, all that stuff, message me, here's the breakdown. But most importantly, as always, have yourself a great day, ladies and gentlemen.